Hi lovely people, you're welcome back to the channel. It's Faith Ignatius. If you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome, and you're just joining, you're in the right place. Today we're going to be drafting how to make this cute bustier with ruffles at the down. So this is the inspiration we have here, and the clothes you are seeing on the down is my own creation. So let's go into the video. So we are starting with going to draw a starting line. Okay, so this is our starting line. We'll be drafting because this video is going to be very long, so I decided to split it into two. This part will be for the drafting. I'll paste the other one later. So we're going to be marking your bust length. Mine is 10, so I mark 10 for the person I'm sewing for. 10. So you mark your bust points. Okay, I usually do this. I go up by 1.5 or 2 inches depending on your armpit hole. So I'm trying to, if you don't know how to do it, you can divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. It will be on the screen for you to see what I mean. So after you marked it, you mark your shoulder divide by 2. You just shoulder length divide by 2. I repeated it down there so that I can be able to get exactly the same thing I had for the up, and then I'll use my ruler to draw a straight line. So once you get your armhole depth, the next thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be taking other measurements, which is the under bust. Whatever you have for your under bust, you mark it there. When you mark your under bust, you draw a straight line. I'm taking this slowly so that I can be able to understand very well. Okay, so this is our under bust. After drawing the under bust, we're going to be measuring for our waist. So some people used to say full front length, some people used to say the waist length. So this is what we're measuring. Yours can be 15, 16, anything you have, you just mark it at that place for your waist. Okay, after we are done measuring for the waist, we're going to be measuring for our hip. From the up to there, you mark whatever you have for your hip. Okay, you mark what you have for your hip. You can calculate. Why I'm calculating this is that I want to use 8 inches for my hip. You can just mark 8 inches, or you mark it from your shoulder to down. So I'll still show you what I mean. Okay, so we are marking for our hip measurement at the down. So this is what I mean, from your waist to your hip. Some people use 9. I use 9 for body. For this tutorial I'm using 8. So the next length I'm measuring now is for the V that we're going to be using for that V mark at the down. Yes, that is the measurement. So I use 7 inches, sorry. So you can use 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 depending on what you want to use. So I'll be using this marker to trace out to measure out, to write out all our measurements. So this is our starting line. This is the center front, just for us not to be confused. And this is our bust length, under bust length. Okay, the next one is our waistline. This is the hip line, and this is for the V. So I'll just label it V. I hope you now understand now. Okay, so I hope with this right up, can be able to understand every details of this drafting we are doing right now. So let's continue. So for the neck depth, I'm using 4 because why I'm using 4 because the person I'm making this dress for, her shoulder length is 8.5. So depending whatever you have, you measure it. Come down by 1 inches for your neck depth. Come down by 1 inches and then you mark. You draw a straight line. Okay. So now we're going to be taking the darts. So how you get your dart is that you divide your boss point into 2, or your boss radius, your boss point, the nipple to nipple, divide it into 2, whatever you have. So now I marked what I have there on my bust length, my under bust length, my waist length, and also I'll also be marking it on my hip length. Okay, so for the person I'm making this dress for, her own is 3.4, so I'm making it up 3.4. I'm going up there. You can go up there by 2 inches or 1.5 inches, depending on how big or how small your bust is. Okay, alright, so I'll go up there, and once I've taken that measurement, I'm going to go down by 3 inches from my waist. So on my waistline, I'll mark half inch on both sides, as you can see. Then I'll now connect it to the one that I've marked up after my under bust. So I'll connect the other one to also to the down. Just do it. You can follow how I'm doing it. Just do as I'm doing. You get it correctly. So now we have taken our dart already. Next thing to do is to get our armhole depth. I divide it by 2 and I mark whatever I have there. So I'll go in by half an inch from there. So I'll connect the line. Before I do that, let me take my bust circumference. So the bust circumference of this person, divide by 4. I will mark it there, and I also mark it on my center line, my chest line, I mean. So I'll add my allowances. I can add 2 inches allowances. I added 2 inches allowances. Okay. I also take my her waist circumference by 4. Add allowances. Okay. Also, this is the same for the hip circumference. So this is how to divide your hip without using your calculator. You get the person's hip, like our own is 41.5. You look for it and you fold your tape to that place once. Again, this is this second one. You fold it to fold it 2 times, as I just did now. You mark and you add allowance. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark out my basic points. Okay, first of all, connect this line, that, and the other one together, the 3 lines. I'm going to connect it together to get our armhole depth. So you make sure you draw your armhole depth very, very well, your armhole depth very well. Okay, I'm trying to get it right, so you just take your time. So the next thing now is, you see how I kept my ruler to get your lines, connect your lines together. And I'm connecting from my waist to my hip line. I kind of make mistake, but I'm going to correct it. I did not take the measurement from the allowance, so as you can see, I'm cleaning it up. So I'll just correct myself now. Okay, So this is all the points that I've marked. See how it's looking neat and beautiful. So this is the starting line, the center line, the bust line, the under bust, the waistline, the hip line. This is the V line, which we're going to be doing just now. Okay, as you can see. So now, after we've marked all the lines, our under bust, waistline, hip line, and the V, everything is now okay. We're now getting our drafts ready. So now we're going to go up there by 1 inch. So let's pay attention to this part because it's very important. I'll go in by half an inch. Okay, then I'll connect it. So now we bring my curve rule. Your curve rule should be on the UB. It should go like this on the UV. You mark a curve there under the UV line that you have drawn. You now go up a little bit from the UV line. As you can see me, just go up like about half an inch or so. I'm using marker so that we can be able to see what I am doing. Okay, you will not mark it straight on the UV line, but you go up a little bit. Okay, you go up a little bit and mark the line on the UV after the UV, sorry, as I just did mine now. So from that place now we'll now take our neck depth, like sorry, our opening. You determine the opening of your neck. Okay, so from there I open up my neck. So we have gotten our neck. I'm going to use this marker to trace out all my basic points that I will be using for this. So I'm trying to trace out, but it looks like the marker is already getting finished, but we're going to manage it like that. Okay, so I'm tracing out all the basic points that will be making use. So now, as you can see how beautiful is already coming out. So I'm going to connect the V now. I'm going to come down by 3.5 from the waistline. I'm coming down by 3.5, and I'm going to draw it straight, and I'm not going to stop at the V. I decide to extend it a little bit. As you can see me, you see what I'm talking about right now. See, I extended it out from the V line a little bit. Okay, so I came down a little bit, about 1.5 inch, like so. So now we are done with our front pattern. I decide to label this place cup. So this is the cup side of our bustier. Okay, go ahead and cut. Go ahead and open up cup, separate the cup from the main body. Okay, so now this is our front pattern. So let's go into the back pattern. I've already drawn out the zipper allowance, and I drew out 1.5 inch because I noticed that if I use I draw out 1 inch because I noticed if I use 1.5, this will not be able to enter in. My pattern will not be able to enter in the paper. Okay, so I'll be adding the remaining half when I'm cutting the material. I'll show you guys when we reach there. So I pinned it down so I'll be able to hold it well and mark out the basic body that we need. The back is just simple. Place the front, arrange the front on it like so. So the only difference between the back and the front is just the neckline, the neck. So that is the only difference between the front and the back. So I've already gotten it, and I'll count that by 1.5 inch, I'll use my curve rule to connect it to the point. Okay, so after connecting it to the point, now at this UV, this is a UV line, I marked it, and also open up the other side that I cut and I marked it, the UV line. Don't forget, you mark that place because it's going to be very important. We're going to be making use of it. I'll go ahead and cut out our back, and that is all. So simple. So I'm going ahead to remove my pin, and our front and the back is almost ready. So the line that I marked, just going to connect the both of them together. So I'll just connect it, and that is just our back yoke. We have gotten our back yoke, so I'll just label it back yoke. Okay, so before we cut, this is the front and the back. Guys, we're making progress. Cheers to us. So if you have watched up to this point, why not do a favor and give a thumbs up, follow up, subscribe, turn off your notification bell. So guys, let's continue. At that waistline that I just marked, I'm going to go in by 1 inch, and I don't know how to explain. You can see what I'm doing, just to reduce the bulge at the back of the zip. Remember I told you I mark 1 inch for this, on this pattern. I'm going to add the remaining half when I'm cutting out the material. So that 1 inch, I'm marking it away now, just to remove the bulginess, so that the bulginess will not be there when the person wears the clothes. Okay, so that is the best way to reduce bulginess from the back of your dress. So that is what we did, and this is our back pattern. Now I'll be separating the yoke, the back yoke, from the main body. Okay, so this is it now. This is our back yoke. Our cup now, I'll just open it up. The cup, for the cup, I'll just open it up a little bit because it will give our breast some space to sit after sewing it. Okay, so this is the material we'll be making use of. This is crepe material, and I use blue, navy blue or whatever, and I use this colored crepe again. The colored crepe will be for the ruffles and the sleeve and the cup. Okay, while the main blue, the other blue is going to be for the main body. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. As you can see, I've cut it out. I've used it to cut out my patterns. So I opened it up by 1 inch at that cup side, and the back yoke, I added my allowances. As you can see, I added my allowances. Even the back, I added half an inch for the zipper. Okay, so this is the back and this is the front. This is the back and this is the front. I added allowances for the zip, as you can see, as I told you guys, and I added allowances at the upper side. Everywhere we're going to be stitching, add allowances. Okay, I also added allowances here at this side. I did not add any allowances apart from the place we're going to be stitching. Okay, so this is all, guys. Well, I'm going to be showing you the sewing tutorial in the next part.